on the back of another former Dallas Maverick, if we can call up VO number 10. Imagine explaining this picture to somebody like
it doesn't
10,
feel
15
real.
years from now.
It doesn't feel real.
How did they fumble this bag? How did it happen?
So many ways.
Don't worry, guys. Anthony Davis is the new Ashton Kutcher.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Defense wins championships, baby.
It's so bad. And both were bad. I mean, the way they fumbled Brunson was bad. They could have re-signed him earlier. And that
For
never
cheap.
really never, we don't talk about that enough. Or at least we didn't at the time because they still had Luka. And so it was like, oh, well, that's fine. We can graze past that. And then they went to the finals, and then it's like, okay, now we really don't have to worry about it. It worked out for both of them, but yeah, it didn't need to happen.
Even still, though, like I don't think many people when Brunson went to the Knicks was like, oh, that's the game changer for them.
When
He's
they
developed
when they went to the West Final under Kidd the first time, that was largely on the back of Jalen Brunson getting out of that Utah series. And that was the series I'm like, whoa, this dude can ball in the NBA. Because I wasn't quite sure if he was a tweener. You're never sure with the size. He'd played in the college ranks for a long. He was great at Villanova, and that was sort of his coming out party in the NBA.
Sure.
It was like, I can be a ball dominant player in this league, and so could they have worked together? Could that have worked?
I mean, they're pretty good friends from what
I don't know,
heard,
but
so.
Kyrie and Luka worked, so maybe
Yeah.
we should have seen what that. Those two on the floor would have looked like. However, defensively, that could have created some serious liability.
If we can call up VO11, this is what the Knicks did last night, just to try and put this in perspective. Namely, Brunson kind of helping setting the tone. And again, the Cavs' lack of effort was very evident in a lot of parts of the series, but mainly how the Knicks approached in transition. It's also just wild to think that the Knicks are back in the NBA Finals. It's funny for a team that has the pedigree that they have in terms of media, in terms of fan interests. They have the Mets history. You know what I mean? Like they don't have those multiple back-to-back runs. They have greats, but they don't have the titles to stack it up. So it is kind of like seeing the Cubs again all of a sudden make it to the finals. And it's kind of fascinating watching, obviously, how New York celebrated, but just to see how that city and that franchise is back in the spotlight in this way.
It is James Harden's legacy going to be?
I'm not doing the James Harden discussion. I'm not.
We'll get Brian Damaris on tomorrow.
Do not bait me into that. Yeah, let's get Brian Damaris to do a remix. No, I mean I really love like the fan on the street videos with the Knicks.
We can't show a lot of it because it's very explicit.
Yeah, I don't even care about the Knicks, but I just love seeing that city turn into Gotham. I spent a lot of time in New York growing up as a kid. I went to Madison Square Garden a bunch of times to see them play. It's just a different type of atmosphere. I don't know how to explain it. It's very much like if you go to Wrigley Field and watch the Cubs play, you see the Knicks in Madison Square Garden. It's like there's just such it's great. The reaction after the game kind of says it all. Like the celebrity fans are on the court dapping the players up. Like I'm not sure you would see that at like a Mavericks game. Like the players will celebrate and then they go back to the locker room. But this is very much of a community fan base where it's celebrities, fans. And the team is very much a part of that. It's cool to see. I just don't even know if they're going to win one game in the finals.
We'll see.
If they were going to have a chance, getting done with things early and giving themselves a boatload of rest time was a really, really big help. We will talk about the Western Conference Finals and Jonah's favorite basketball team after this on the Ultimate Dallas Sports Show.
Can't do this anymore.
Ethical hoops.
I'm going to get a T-shirt that says Ethical Hooper.
Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals tonight at 7:30 in Oklahoma City. Spurs and Thunder tied up at 2 games apiece. This has been a fun series so far, and now you've got your best of 3 that I think we all probably figured it was going to be. And it's just going to come down to which one of these 2 elite teams makes more plays when it matters most.
It's been a fun series. I thought this would be really the NBA Finals or the champion deciding series, right? I don't know if the Knicks can hold a stick to either of these teams, and we'll find out soon. But it's lived up to its hype. I'm hoping it goes to Game 7 though, because that's where the fun happens.
I was going to say that this was kind of a similar series to what the Nuggets did last year, where it was 2-2 through 4 games, entered in game best of 3, and that one went 7. And Game 7 was particularly great, but it was a great series and fun to watch all the way through. It is fascinating to me how much Wemby is such an enigma, but also like every game he comes up with something else that is just like the buzzer beater in Game 4 from half court.
That might have touched the ceiling.
That was crazy.
I'm watching that midair. I'm like, that might touch the ceiling, and then it drops in the hoop. I'm like, has a 7-foot person ever done that before? Like, it's just remarkable.
Yeah.
He's something else, man. I can't speak on behalf of all basketball fans, but I know a lot of basketball fans, casuals and diehards, and he seems to cut through all of them and unify. Like, he just seems to be such a beloved figure in the sport right now because he doesn't spend a ton of time complaining to refs. He doesn't do that. He just seems to be #ethical hoops and really amazing at it.
Hashtag.
And a lot of
Is that the hand sign we're doing?
I don't know.
It's kind of like
But
we went back to 1957.
There you go. After the Macarena.
I
Here we go.
posed this to my buddies the other day because I've been trying to figure out, like, why is the OKC flop hate really reached an inflection point in this series? And I think if they were playing the Lakers, I'm not sure we would care as much. I'm not sure if the public discourse would be as intense as it is. But because they're playing against Wemby, because they're playing at a young player that's entering into his prime, that a lot of people want to be the next GOAT, that to have a legacy of championships, to have a team that is potentially threatening that with hashtag foul play. I think it's magnifying the OKC flopping because it could be potentially diminishing from Wemby's legacy. I think that's my theory on it. There's no facts to support that, but it just feels like that's what's magnifying it.
Other than Haberstrom's report that SGA's on the court 18% of the time after he has a jump shot.
The flopping is happening. Like, if you're trying to say that every team flops, sure, every team does flop, but the rate at which they flop is crazy high.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers that he put together support the fact that SGA is doing it more and doing it more effectively than anybody else in the league is. Even some other guys like Harden that we're used to seeing flopping.
That number comes out, and then literally the next game, I think it was De'Aaron Fox, literally played like a perfect defense and moved to the side, and SGA does this, like, shoots a jump shot. Nobody shoots a jump shot like that. And falls to the ground, and it was the perfect encapsulation of, at this point, he's so entrenched and he's so dug in, he can't all of a sudden just go back to ethical hoops. You know what I mean?
But real quick, though, before we move on, just to put the dichotomy on display, if we can call it VO20, this was someone's mock-up of an ad campaign that Nike should definitely jump on.
If you haven't seen the nuns courtside at Spurs games, that's obviously the backstory to all of this. But for a guy who scored 41 in Game 1, 33 in their other win, you can't stop him.
Why didn't
this is your only option.
You could have just done, you don't want none.
That too.
It's right there.
Also, you have no room to talk on me on bad puns after that. That's all I'm saying.
I'm cooking today.
But no, just like the difference in how these two stars are put together, it was this. And if we call it VO22, just to jump ahead here real quick, this was the parody that also hit social media. But that's the dichotomy. Doesn't quite hit the same way. But still relevant.
So true.